Hey everybody, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I'm continuing my series on how to sing like, and next up is Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. Now Stevie's kind of interesting because I think she's the only female artist, if I'm not mistaken, to be inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame twice. Once as a solo artist and once in Fleetwood Mac. So anyway, before we get started, if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe to my channel. That'd be really cool. Don't forget to ring the bell so I can keep cool videos and notifications coming your way. And I have a singing course, and the course is called How to Sing Better Than Anyone Else, where I instruct you how to get to all these amazing places from all these amazing singers in hopes to help make you amazing at singing. So with that said, I chose Sara Loera. She's one of my students, and she's just a phenomenally gifted, actually she worked at it. She wasn't just handed on a silver platter her voice. She worked very, very hard at it, but gifted at many styles now because she's worked hard at it. And Stevie Nicks is definitely a forte of hers. And I want to discuss how she got to these places, how we got there together, and we'll just dive right in. Let's do it.
Just like a wide window, sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like a wide window, sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. And the days go by like a strand in the wind, in the web that is my own. I begin again. Said to my friend, baby, stop, nothing else matters.
Now, if you notice, Stevie stays kind of in her zone. She stays in her lane as far as not trying to sing too high or too low. She's, I want to say one-dimensional, but she's very kind of very monotone in the way she presents it. But she also, though, has kind of a really gypsy sort of approach to the way she sings, even though she's kind of nasally on the sound, and she uses caprino, which is a really fast vibrato. And I've used her as an example of, you know, this goat's wiggle vibrato, caprino vibrato. But just like a wowing girl sings a song like sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, said oh. You know, she spits out this, you know, really fast vibrato. And she has a lot of fall offs on her. Wowing girl sings a song like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. Right? But that's part of her style too. And so one of the things that I think is important about hers is not so much the technical aspect of her singing, but her storytelling. You're really sucked into her, mesmerized and sucked into her storytelling because she is very, I don't say witchy about it, but maybe that's true because she has a song about a Welsh witch. But in Fleetwood Mac, she's got this just mesmerizing character about her that you kind of like go, wow, I don't know, there's something about this person I just want to keep watching, right? And that's part of her shtick, so it's not just the technical aspects of her singing. So let's continue. Now let's just stop that line. Like, that's not like a singer's line. He was no more. Like she's really thinking about than a baby then, right? And it makes you think about, oh wow, she's talking about, you know, a 17-year-old, edge of 17, right? And an affair, I guess, with a young guy. But it's kind of interesting because the way she presents and has her phrasing is not like a singer, you know, she no more than baby then, you know, like it's not, you know, consistent with like pocket phrase singing of like a soul singer or a rock singer, or a blues singer. She beats to her own drum when it comes to that, but that's what makes her Stevie too, and that's another very unique thing about her voice.
Something within him. From the moment that I first lay eyes on him, all alone on the edge of 17.
Okay, and again, too, the other thing is the passion, and we always talk about passion this, passion that. No, I mean really, she has a lot of passion in the way she's singing. So it's almost like she's seeing the story on a movie screen, and she's internalizing the story, and then she's representing that story as she's singing. It's kind of interesting. So you can kind of peer into watching the movie screen with her, or the stories that she's telling. Not a lot of singers can do that. So it's an art, just true artistry, and her ability to sell the story. Now we've talked a lot about other artists that have done this, and she's definitely way up at the top of the food chain for being able to do that.
Just like a wide wind does, sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. Just like the wide wind does, sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. Well, I went today, maybe I will go again tomorrow.
See what happens? It's like, maybe I'll go again tomorrow, right? It's like she's talking to you. It's really interesting. It's not like I said, not like a typical pocket in the phrase, here's where I fit all my phrases. No, she just kind of spits it out and just says it like poetry or something. It's really fascinating. And again, you take songs like Rihanna, you know, which is Rihanna, excuse me, that, you know, we always know is a song about a witch. But like, you know, she makes you enticed like wanting to love a witch. It's kind of creepy, right? But that's just, again, she's bringing you in. I remember when I saw the movie Gladiator, this is way off topic, but humor me for a second. And I thought, how amazing that whoever wrote this script, and of course, you know, we love the actor and actresses then or whatever, but whoever wrote this and the acting in it made you fall in love with the commander of the armies of the north of the Roman Empire. And when you know what the stories are of the brutal atrocities of that army, by the way, that was the biggest army, because if you think of Rome, they're in the south, right? So anything north of Rome was big news, right? So, and you think about that, and you think of Russell Crowe and his ability to suck you into feeling sorry for him as a valiant guy. And of course you could say, oh, that's patriotic. He was doing it on behalf of Rome and this and that. And he was the true, you know, patriot of Rome. But Rome was a bunch of bad guys doing a lot of bad stuff. But he made you, you know, so in the same way, in a similar context, you know, here you have Rhiannon and her, you know, wouldn't you like to love her? You know, like, yeah, I would. Wait a minute, she's a witch. Oh, are you sure about this? Right. But anyway, so that's another component to Stevie Nicks, is that it's not just about the technical aspect. One other thing too is she has these mesmerizing phrases she repeats over and over and over again. So you walk away, you can't help but repeat the phrase. So it's a catchy tune, and the phrase repeats over and over again. So you can't help but just, you know, walk away. You know, it's a song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. And someone starts singing it, and they'll begin to singing it or ever. And it's a song, and it keeps going on. That song you want to get out of your brain, you just can't, because I've heard. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So we get that. That's kind of, you know, really her makeup and how she does it. But then she does some lighter stuff too, which is really cool, like this. Check it out.
So I'm back to the velvet underground, back to the floor that I love, to a room with some lace and paper flowers, back to the gypsy that I was, to the gypsy that I was.
So immediately again, here I get the hippie vibe, right? She's like a hippie, and she's great at what she does. She's gypsy, or maybe bohemian would be a better way to say it. She's got this really bohemian vibe to her, and you're like, well, that's cool, because it's very unique, and it's not cookie cutter like everybody else. She just, like I said, beats her own drum and does her own thing. Now, I also did, I'm not going to take the time to play it now, but we did do a version of Rhiannon. I'll put all these in the description so you can hear how we stacked up to get as close as we could to Fleetwood Mac, and in this song, Gypsy, and the other one was Rhiannon, and I thought we did, oh, Leather and Lace, that's what it was, that's what I was gonna say. So let's do this right now. Stevie Nicks, Leather and Lace. I did this with Sara, and let me find it here. Yeah, there we go. And so now again, this was a duet that she did. So the other interesting thing about this is that when you hear her sing her parts, and then Don Henley comes in with his parts, you are literally inside the house with her, bringing you in, wanting you to come in, like, right? And then it's almost like they're having a love affair in a cool kind of way, like a real innocent, whatever that's supposed to mean, but in a very organic kind of way through the song. It's really interesting. Watch this. So here's Sara and me doing this, replicating this. And again, folks, if you're looking for a vocal coach to really teach you how to do this, make sure the vocal coach themselves can sing. Make sure they're showcasing students that sing. It's the only way you're gonna learn how to sing, okay? So check this out.
impossible to follow. You say that I'm fragile, I try not to be. I search only for something I can't see.
Now let me point something out about this, okay? This is one example where I know she collaborated in the songwriting of this, but you could tell it's not totally her own thing, because she is singing more to a meter. She is kind of rhyming her words more. She is singing more as a collective in something rather than a free spirit. Though when she does it, her lyric content and her execution of that is so again, storytelling, and so compelling within the story itself that you're sucked in because it's Stevie, and you just go, boom, okay, now she's got her charisma working for her, even in a corporate environment, a corporate song that was written collectively. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's really hard to do, guys, I'm telling you. So again, you probably was hoping that this is gonna be all about, you know, how do I sing like Stevie Nicks? We do cover like this kind of stuff in the course, so I have all this in the course, but I wanted to point out some of the aspects about her singing that makes her extra special. So here we go. And Sara does a phenomenal job with this as well.
And I am stronger than you know. But I carry this feeling when you walked into my house that you won't be walking out the door. Still I carry this feeling when you walked into my house, but you won't be walking out the door. Lovers forever, face to face, by city or mountain.
Great
Stay
lyric.
with me, stay.
Leather and lace, what a great idea for a
I need you to
song.
love me, I need you today. Give to me a leather, take from me my lace.
Cool. Now, before we go on, and I'm doing the Don Henley part, of course, I want to point out that Don Henley is also the flip side of that. In the Eagles, think about the storytelling Don Henley did in the Eagles. Wow. Wow. Did I say wow? I should have said wow. I mean, so good. So this match, as though it might have even kind of been a little awkward, thinking, what, Stevie Nicks and Don Henley? What a strange thing. You know, I forget the name of the producer. I'll think of him. Hopefully his name will come to my mind. But Rick Rubin. You know, when Rick Rubin put stuff together, like he was the unification when he did Aerosmith with Run DMC, it's like, what? But wait a minute, when you stop and thought about it, you know, Steven Tyler was kind of the original rapper of rock, but he was, hey, put your kitty in the middle and I sing like I didn't care. So I took a big chance at the high school dance with the missus who was ready to play, right? All of a sudden, you could see him doing a Run DMC thing, and Aerosmith was on their way out. I mean, they were done. Aerosmith was over. And when Rick Rubin put him with Run DMC, boom, they exploded with success. Now, and let's say Johnny Cash, when he did the song Hurt, talk about a wow piece of music that is. Holy cow, if you haven't seen Johnny Cash Hurt. Now, he takes a Trent Reznor song. Well, I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent here, but I'm bringing this up because of Don Henley, whoever put this together. So, but you know, he takes a Trent Reznor song from 9 Inch Nails and gets Johnny Cash to sing it. But Johnny sings it like it's his own, and it kind of really is. I mean, it's weird with this, you know, Last Supper scene, you know, of his life going by him, and he died shortly thereafter. Man, and so Rick's done a lot of stuff like that, so it wouldn't surprise me if he even put this together. But to pair Don Henley up with Stevie Nicks was just an incredible thing, and it's just a timeless piece. So here comes Ken Henley on the next verse. Here we go.
Sleepy eyes, could you ever love a man like me? And you were right when I walked into your house. Oh, I know I'd never want to leave. Sometimes I'm a strong man, sometimes cold and scared, and sometimes I cry. Time I saw you, I knew with you to light my nights.
Now, the interesting thing, again, it's interesting, is that all of a sudden, when Don sings his parts or I sing his parts for him, you are in this relationship with them. It's not like you're watching it from afar. You know what I'm saying? It's really cool. It's not like you're hearing a story about someone else. You're going, yeah, that could be me. Isn't that crazy? I don't know, maybe it's just me that does this, but I'm like, wow. So she set me up for it, this bringing me into the house thing, right? And seeing her life, and you could just see, you know, I could almost see the dishes. I could almost smell the food cooking. Really, I'm not kidding. And then Don comes in and he goes, yeah, you know, here I am, and this is the kind of man I am, and I'm just a aw shucks kind of guy, and you know, and this love relationship, all of a sudden you're just intrigued. So that's what makes these guys amazing. And that's what made Stevie Nicks amazing, is their ability to do this. And then when they come together, you're like, oh, come on. Now you're really giving me the 1-2 punch, right? Check this out.
Lovers forever, face to face. My city, your mountain, stay with me, stay. I need you to love me,
I need you today. Give to me your leather, take from me my lace.
Anyway, I didn't mean to ramble and go on, guys, but I like to bring in something more than just, like I said, I always try to contribute something a little bit more. And in this case, it's the storytelling. In this case, it's the emotion, it's the passion, it's the intrigue, it's the charisma, it's the, you know, just being mesmerized by being brought into the story. So anyway, thank you guys for listening, and definitely check out my next video.